Hello friends, I'm Phoebe. Welcome to my music discovery journey where I catch up on all the music I missed out on over the years and share my great finds with you. Some of you share your great finds with me too, which is what Stuart has done over on Ko-fi and provided a track by the Stupendium called A Little Theorizing, which is a game theory song, which I used to watch the game theory channel on YouTube all the time years ago. Game Theorists. It talks about games and talks about different theories, little Easter eggs or little fun facts about them, and lots of other things. It goes a bit deeper than that. Stuart says the Stupendium is Greg Holgate, a YouTuber, animator, and musician from London. He writes quirky, nerdy tracks about games and gaming. They range from being just fun to quite dark, depending on the game. They have tracks about such games as Bendy and the Ink Machine, The Outer Worlds, Lethal Company, and Cyberpunk 2077. I've played this game briefly, to name a few. They're usually lyrically very clever, but the music and videos are really well put together too. They're often annoyingly catchy. I see what you're doing here, Stuart. Although I don't consider this his best work, it's a good introduction. Okay, it has over 10 million views, so it's a popular one. Noted. Okay, so let's check him out. The Stupendium. All right. Oh, is that a sunflower? No. What's the logo?
Put up your computer, stick a disk in your console's drive. Whatever platform you're choosing, it's time to switch on your mind. Could be Super Mario, shoot a snap for those evenings down in the mines. But if you look past all those shiny graphics, you'll be surprised what you'll find. Inside these worlds we love, behind our TV screens, there's so much to discover when you peek between the tiny gaps in the story. Science, math, and the law, we've got all that to explore. Plus there's some decent memes. How hard does it hit?
He reminds me of Bo Burnham, the style of songs, which is not a bad thing. I really like Bo Burnham. And going deeper into the lore. Okay, boot up your computer, stick a disk in your console's drive. Whatever platform you're choosing, it's time to switch on your mind. Could be Super Mario shooters, FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's, or those evenings down the mines. But if you look past all those shiny graphics, you'll be surprised what you'll find. This is really like talking about the game theory stuff, and yeah, delving deeper, learning more about the games and the secrets they may have, right? Inside these worlds we love, behind our TV screens, games, there's so much to discover when you peek between the tiny gaps in the story, science, math, and the lore. We've got all that to explore, plus there's some decent memes. And that's true, there are decent memes. I think it's really cool when you look further into certain things and that they leave little bits of treasure for us in some of them, which is really cool. We're gonna give this a like.
Between the tiny gaps in the story, science, math, and the law, we've got all that to explore. Plus
that's harmony.
Decent means. How hard does a headshot go? How fast does a hedgehog go? Frogger might not last a biology class, but have you tried to dissect her? Toad and creepers get to explode. The secret's buried in code. You'll never guess what happened to the guests that were left in that restaurant. Though in every level you
where's that from?
Achievement your view becomes a bit more complete, and with each twist that unfolds and every mystery is solved, we find a new way to see this ball on which we revolve. These games have...
Okay, there's a lot there as well. How hard does a headshot blow? How fast does a headshot go? Sonic. Frogger might not last in biology class. What's Frogger? Oh, but and then talking about, but have you tried to dissect a toad? And from Mario, you saw the toad from there. How creepers get to explode? Minecraft, the secrets buried in code. Talking about games, I guess. Secrets hidden by game developers. You'll never guess what happened to the guests that were left in the restaurant, though. Where's that from? Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. So I have only briefly seen other people play Five Nights at Freddy's. That's when I used to watch Yogscast. I used to watch them play it years ago. Common subject on game theory and often a running gag among the fan base. So there's plenty of references there like that. In every level you beat and each boss battle defeat, with each achievement your view becomes a bit more complete. You're learning as you go. There's different levels, there's different bosses to beat in some games, depending on what type of game you're playing. With each twist that unfolds and if every mystery you solve, we find a new way to see this ball on which we revolve, Earth, in this world. These games have secrets inside, and as a team we can find them. Oh, these games have secrets inside, and as a team we can find them. You've a blank page and a clear horizon, so why not do a little theorizing? I think it's time we did a little theorizing. That's quite nice. Talking about all these little, like, there's a lot of Easter eggs that games have that if you're just playing on your own, you don't always spot them. But there's, if you delve deeper, if you go onto Reddit, if you Google and have communities that are like fans of a game, particular games, between us all, we kind of find out little bits of information. That's really cool when you find so much lore or hidden information about games or stuff that's not as obvious and out there as just a surface level view. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 at the moment for the second time, and I'm very bad at it, but I love the little bits of story you can pick up, and there are lots of channels that provide information or short form content on what you can do in the game that's like a little bit cool and not something that everyone knows. That's really nice. I like that. And same with lots of other games, but I think Red Dead is one of the ones that I think is really cool for that kind of thing. Anyway, we've gone back a little bit more. I like that you see a lot of the game references on here as well. Pictures. These games have secrets inside, and there's a team we can find. But give a blank page and a clear horizon, so why not do a little theorizing? I think it's time we did a little theorizing. It's a whole lot of research, and the clues keep piling up. But you're not a smart game teaser, you're already bright enough. So sit back and grab a Diet Coke or a candle of human souls, and ask if you might survive the jump, chucking nuggets into the hole. Got a city in the sky, and you might call it from the motion. So you think you're trying at the bottom of the ocean. Get the physics right across will probably be broken. Then it's still more lucky than the snap of ever open. Marionette flesh, marionettes, keeping companions fed. How old Ash Ketchum gets, some we all know sense is next. Had a thought of Markiplier getting freaky with a Pokemon bed like a biting of a species. Organic brush, you wash your coughing doctors on the TV. The horror that is Monica, as you can see me. The secrets of the model fit the only dragon on which is why it's super sporty. It's a million other theories. You may gain a wealth of knowledge, but you are expecting the reaching. Fair. So, going back. Oh my god, that's from. I'm sure I'll be able to see because I've got the Genius lyrics up now. What was that game? That was creepy as hell. Monica. Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh my god, it's quite dark. It looks all fun and everything, but it's very dark. It's really well written, I think, but it's quite triggering. There's a lot of things in that can be quite triggering. Okay, it's a whole lot of research and the clues keep piling up, but you're not a Scott Games teaser. You're already bright enough. Scott Hawthorne was the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's. he's well known for hiding hints and lore bits in teasers for the games by keeping images or text in deep shadows and forcing theorists to turn the brightness up in an editing software to find it. That's real, like, obscure, or perhaps it's not. Once you know to do that, it's not so much, but when it becomes a thing, that's quite cool. So sit back and grab a Diet Coke or a can full of human souls. It says here it's a reference to the video game Only Cans, in which the Stupendium was also mentioned of the game as a can, and on Game Theory was Stupendium's song Vending Machine of Love. Another obscure reference that you might get or you might not, but it's nice that I can read about them anyway. Ask if you might survive the jump, chucking nuggets into the hole. There's can chicken nuggets save your life? Kindergarten, which itself references a moment where character Nugget drops thousands of chicken nuggets into a very deep hole, which serves as the only way to survive the fall. The thing about games is there are some like really bizarre things that you do in them that if you're just having a general conversation, you're telling like your parents like, oh, what were you doing? I was chucking chicken nuggets into a hole. They'll be like, huh? But with games, like when you're talking games, you're like, yeah, all right, yeah. Build a city in the sky and you might vomit from the motion sickness. Says it's a reference to Bioshock and the Bioshock world. That's fair. So you think to try at the bottom of the ocean. In his video on Bioshock Ultimate, Matt Pat says that a floating city like Columbia would give its inhabitants motion sickness. Get the physics right or glass will probably be broken. Then it's still more likely than the Five Nights at Freddy's box ever opening. The box is a locked chest seen at the end of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, along with a text saying perhaps some things are best left forgotten for now. To this day, it's unknown what is contained within the box, although Scott Cawthon has mentioned that whatever is inside is crucial to the lore. I've heard people talking about the box. I didn't know it was Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Carrion flesh, reference to beware the wait. Oh, hang on, sorry. The secret horror behind Carrion's monster, the science of Carrion, was from a video. And then marionettes, puppet from Five Nights at Freddy's. But marionettes have been a frequent subject matter over the years, it says there. And yeah, lots of marionettes in games. Keeping companions Fred. How old Ash Ketchum gets. Ash Ketchum, I think most of you will know, is from Pokemon. And has been in Pokemon for a very long time. But yeah, it says in here as well, never seemed to go past the age of 10 during his long journey. They did theories on that. We all know that Sans is Ness. The line references the iconic Sans is Ness theory in the video titled Undertale. Oh, it's about Undertale. Sans' secret identity. That's fair. I don't know about that. Never had I thought of Markiplier getting freaky with a Pokemon made by combining other species. Markiplier is a well-known gaming personality who does lots of different videos on YouTube. And there was an episode, and I don't know what this was called off the top of my head, but it says in reference to the episode, I made Markiplier's perfect Pokemon. Markiplier smash or pass. Volcanic pressure washing coughing. Dogs inside the TV. Power wash simulator. Dogs inside the TV. Apparently there's a duck seasons kill a dog. The horror that is Monica and finding she could see me. So yeah, with this game, basically it was like breaking the fourth wall while you were playing it. I don't really want to say too much more on it if you haven't played it, because I think it's quite good. I played it in an afternoon. I didn't play it online. I played it on my own, but I thought it was quite interesting. The secret of the bottle flip, the Enter Dragon obelisks. I feel like I should ask you in the comments to let me know if any of these reference, rather than me just like trying to easily find them. Just why is Zipper's body zipped? A million other theories. That was an Animal Crossing reference. Interesting. You may gain a wealth of knowledge, but you aren't as rich as Luigi. Fair. All right. Everyone knows who Luigi is. It is catchy. There's so many references on the screen as well. I like how it's hearing some Mario sounds, lots of other sounds in there.
Contains of video games, there's loads to explore. Will you or the food expire first? Locked in the grocery store. When navigating a labyrinth, how will you locate the door? And 5 pro strats for surviving traps if you were chosen in store. The cannibalism practice on the Axiom starship. The dragonfly mechanics of some anime cars. Impractical dynamics of a family of sharks. All the best and black attachments when you're stacking the parts. If everyone together does a clap and a half, we get the decibels we measure, then I'm bad in the graph. You see the windy professors here for cracking the answers. It's clever than ever, forget we're having a laugh. And we'll do a lot of learning on the way. The user always challenge to just turn another page. You ever say the word should be impervious to play. Never learn to peek behind the curtains of the games. The curious community is spinning the globe. You could join us too, but it's a slippery slope. I'm addicted to I think I'll pick the theory you wrote. Damn, I'm rapping with a bow and give it to the Pope. Every level you beat and each boss battle defeat with each your...
Okay. So, but we're not contained to video games. There's loads to explore. Yeah, because they do theories around lots of different things. Will you or the food expire first? Locked in a grocery store. So they do testing. They test these theories, and I guess thinking about food surviving and actually trying to figure out with actual real life trying it. When navigating a labyrinth, how will you locate the door? There's lots of references there. And 5 pro strats for surviving traps if you were chosen in Saw. Talking about surviving Saw. The cannibalism practiced on the Axiom starship. Here they're mentioning Wally. The evidence being that the Axiom starship seemingly had no livestock or plants anywhere on board, and all the meals were blended into nutrient-rich smoothie, potentially hiding any human ingredients. The theory was Wally's unseen cannibalism. The dragonfly mechanics of some animate cars. Pixar. Cars. Impractical dynamics of a family of sharks. So talking about not contained to video games, Baby Shark. There's a theory. It's on the cover it says Baby Shark is adopted. Yeah, I guess these are all things that people hear about in their daily lives, and they're like, well, let's do a theory on that. Or the best hamburger tactics when you're stacking parts. At the start of this, I was going through references to video games, but I guess they're talking about the theories more specifically and explaining them or giving an overview here, a very short short for them summary of these things that you might think of, or thoughts that are provoked when looking at these popular things or listening. So about impractical dynamics of a family of sharks, or the best hamburger tactics when you're stacking the parts, stacking a hamburger. If everyone together does a clap and a half, what happens there? We add the decibels, we measure, then map that on a graph. You'd see we don't need professors here for cracking the answers. They're just a bunch of guys looking at certain theories, testing the theories perhaps if they can, or theorizing, talking about them. It's clever, but we never forget we're having a laugh. It's kind of just what I said, but different. And we'll do a lot of learning on the way. The gears are always churning, so just turn another page. Whoever said that work should be impervious to play never learned to peek behind the curtain of the game. Basically, the job of a theorist in a nutshell, it says here, working while playing and looking beyond the surface level details. So whoever said you can't have fun while working never learned to see past the surface level of games, which would be considered a distraction in any kind of work environment. Very fun. Imagine getting paid to look into different things, different theories relating to games or outside of the gaming world. A curious community is spinning the globe. You could join us too, but it's a slippery slope. You get addicted to it. There's so many interesting things that they might talk about, and they might be silly, or some might actually be like, oh yeah, actually that, yeah, how does that really work? I'm addicted, so I think I'll pick theories we wrote, then I'll wrap them with a bow and give it to the Pope. Apparently in 2016 MatPat gave the Pope a Steam code for a game, Undertale. Undertale's supposed to be really good. He explained that the game represented the same themes of forgiveness and compassion that the Pope alluded to in a speech he made earlier in the year. Whoa. Okay, and then just back to the chorus.
I'm addicted to I think I'll pick the theory you wrote. Damn, I wrap 'em with a bow and give it to the Pope. Every level you beat and each boss battle defeat, when each achievement you view becomes a bit more complete. And with each twist that unfolds and every mystery is solved, we find a new way to see this ball on which we revolve. These games have secrets inside, and there's a team we can find. Don't give a blank page and a clear horizon, so why not do a little theorizing? I think it's time we did a little theorizing. Theorizing, yeah.
That's just a theory. That's what they say at the end of their videos. A game theory.
But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
That's basically what he says at the end.
Thanks for watching. Thank you to my amazing patrons, and of course an incredible thank you to MatPat and everyone over at Team Theorist for making this collab possible, especially to Tyler for producing this fantastic video for the song. Team Theory and I first talked about this project way back in 2021, and I'm so excited to finally be able to share it with you all. A huge welcome to anyone here visiting from this week's Game Theory. In other news, I have merch again. A whole new collection of Stupendium merch is now available. Link below. If you enjoyed the song, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell to hear all my latest songs, and check the playlist for all of my other ones.
The foundation of the song is also
where this song
catchy.
features. We're so close to hitting 1 million subscribers, but in the meantime, that's just a song. A Stupendium song. Thanks for listening.
I see what he's done there. Yeah, at the end of their videos, they're like, but that's just a theory, a game theory. And as you clearly heard, that was poking fun at that. That it really reminded me of like Bo Burnham style presenting of a song. It was fun, it was catchy, it had a lot of familiar images in there, and then them talking about different theories relating to games, or what you could do, perhaps not what you can actually play in games. Yeah, very interesting. Thank you so much to Stuart for that one. it's made me want to get back into watching the game Theorists again. So whenever I can spend the time, I might watch an episode at some point soon. So thank you for watching. Anyone on Patreon, thank you. This is a little shout out that we do at the end of the videos. If you want to join our supporters, VIP or premium supporters, you can join for free. You don't have to do that. No one has to do anything they don't want to. Being here, you're already doing more than enough, so thank you for that. And I will see you for another one soon. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.